Hey, I'm Chase, and this is All Things Random. Today, we're getting wet back in the pool using oil-filled watches. Now I'm doing this video because a subscriber of mine asked me to show what an oil-filled watch looks like under the water compared to a standard watch that's filled with air. Well, here I am. I'm going to do the video. Now this is going to be a shorter video because there's not a whole lot to go in here. Now I've done a oil-filled watch review and I've done an oil-filled watch build of this exact watch. This is the Mathey-Tissot vintage GMT, but it's not really a GMT because there's no third hand. This is a quartz movement. If you oil fill a watch, it has to be a quartz movement. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey, if I oil fill a watch, well, isn't it gonna leak out at the end? Well, here is where I'm gonna show you exactly where it doesn't leak out at all. In fact, I did a video where I was selling watches and I showed people that, and that video didn't get a whole lot of traction. So I thought, well, because I keep getting the same question being asked, is it gonna leak out? Well, I might as well do a short video to show you that as well. So just like any other watch, this right here is not a screw down crown. In fact, it is just a pull out crown. This has only 50 meters of water resistance, and even with 50 meters of water resistance, the oil in here does not leak out. Now this is 100% silicone oil, so it's non-conductive for electrical components inside of the watch itself. Now you can see you pull the crown once and you can go ahead and change the date wheel with no problem. Then you pull it again and you can set the time. Now you can go through and do all the functions as many times as you want. Pop the crown in, pop the crown out, doesn't really matter. Rotate all the way around until it hits the 12 o'clock position at midnight, and you see the date wheel changes over just fine with no problem at all. In fact, it works just fine. A lot of people ask me, wait a second, doesn't the viscosity of the oil slow down the second hand so it's gonna lose time? Well, I can tell you that honestly, no. This thing was running pretty fast before, I would say plus 20 seconds a day. Now it's around plus 10 seconds a day. So did it slow it down? Yes. But it still runs slightly faster than most of my other watches. So even though it has a viscosity, even though it has some sort of hindrance on the movement when it comes to something like friction, it still doesn't really make that much of a difference. Now, under the water is where it really makes a world of difference, and why maybe you should consider oil filling your quartz dive watches. Now you see here that the image pushes completely to the outside of the crystal when the watch is filled with oil. Now this is a sort of 3D effect that can only be replicated if a liquid is inside. You can use the example of something like a fish tank. If you put the fish tank underwater, it's going to do the same thing as any other glass, but a lot of times in aquariums what they'll do is they'll separate fish with other fish in aquariums that you don't even see because basically it's clear and the image is pushed right to the outside of the glass. It's the same thing that happens with this oil-filled watch. The oil pushes the image to the outside of the crystal, so all you see is the image of the crystal, and it looks basically like an LCD screen. It's actually pretty cool. Now, if you look at a standard watch, everybody knows what a standard watch looks like, right? It's air-filled. Basically, this is encased in standard atmosphere. This thing is filled with air. This is an automatic movement. This is my Exciton. One of my favorite watches, or at least it's becoming a favorite watch. I can't wait to take this to Hawaii and actually take it diving in the ocean along with my Citizen ProMaster Diver, because I'm also going to be doing a few dive videos. Those videos are to come in the future. I'm going to Hawaii at the end of March. I look forward to doing several things while I'm there. Now, when an air-filled watch is put in the water, what happens is the air inside causes a mirrored effect when the watch is turned at a slight angle. Well, the oil-filled watch doesn't do the same thing. because that image is pushed to the outside of the crystal, basically just like sitting here in standard air, I can see it from all angles, and it's not the same when it comes to legibility of an air-filled watch. Now, is this super important? No, it's not. Nobody really cares. In fact, it doesn't matter if you oil fill your watch, that's a quartz watch, or you don't oil fill your watch, that's a quartz watch. It's just a cool effect that you have and how it makes things far more legible when you're under the water. That's the only reason why I did this video, is because someone asked me to, and I thought I would show you in a quick video. Now, everybody says, oh, it's super messy if you need to change this battery. This thing has been going for over a year. It's not slowing down. I can see that it's probably going to be going for at least another year before I even need to change the battery. And I'll be honest with you, no matter what anybody says, this was extremely easy to do. Was it messy? Yeah, it took me about 15 minutes to oil fill this watch with no bubbles at all. And if you want to watch that video, I'll link it in the description, or I'll put it up here in a card. But it's not very difficult at all. In fact, it was extremely easy. A lot of people don't want to do it. Fine, you don't have to do it. It's a cool thing you can do that gives just a coolness factor to your watch. If you had this on your wrist and there was a watch guy standing over there and they're like, hey, that almost looks like an LCD screen. What kind of smartwatch do you have? And you're like, oh, it's not. I oil filled my Mathey-Tissot quartz because I thought it would be cool. Now you have something to talk about. It's a statement. And it's just a coolness factor. Anyway, I have a lot of videos coming up in the future. I just had a company reach out to me and send me some watch straps. I'll be doing a review on those when they come in. I also have 2 separate watches from the League of Watches. I'll leave everybody in the League of Watches down below. I have 2 more watch reviews coming up. I also have a Kodak underwater camera that I got for my 12-year-old for Hawaii that I will be reviewing, as well as a lot of other dive stuff. So hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, leave me a like, and I'll see you in the next one.